Guys, how's it going? This is Ben Gessel. I think this will be my last video tonight, but I wanted to mention one more thing that ties in with my last video here, and that has something to do with the sense of security and I guess you could say familiarity that we have from day to day, and also a little bit how I think. So, of course, I have mild Asperger's syndrome myself. It's just mild. It's but it plays in some. I am a creature of habit to a certain extent. I remember at times I can identify, different times in my life when there were things that I knew I could count on that would help my day be happier or more, enjoyable. And when those things weren't there, for whatever reason, or people, or whatever, it was sometimes kind of a bummer, But this is something I think that is one of the understated things about everyone's life. For instance, we all get up in the morning, but we eat different things. And if maybe all we have is, oatmeal, and maybe we like oatmeal, but maybe we want something nicer. So there's different kinds of things we have at breakfast, but whatever it is, sometimes we're rushing out the door really fast. That's not always so fun, but some of us, if we're not as employed, we wish we were more employed, we wish we were busier in a way, but I guess it could go both ways. But basically, so the obvious one is it's great to be in love, and it can be tough if you're single, but if you're in a relationship that's vampiric and you're with the wrong person, that can be even worse than being single. So I don't know. Anyway. So yeah, love and whatever. So there's that side of all this. But there's also things like, with food. There's like you have to feed a little bit something simpler. If you are used, and we're all like this. A lot of people are like this. You can go to grocery stores. Let's say you become very fond of ice cream or cheese or meat or soda or juice or chocolate or cocoa or certain kinds of something healthier, maybe fruits. I don't think vegetables might not. I don't know, but let's say there's always things that you expect to find in certain stores, and you have been going there, especially if you're older. You've been going to the store for who knows how long, and you can just rely on certain things being economically priced or not too expensive, that you will just it's an automatic good to go kind of thing. So I know we're like this, and we're all a little different that way maybe, but imagine if those things were gone. And imagine, there's so many things like that. Like, I remember when I was little, looking forward to, I don't know, time to write stories in school, or library time, or computer time, to play certain games on the computer, and I just loved it. I just had a blast. And, for me, when I was little, I still have memories of computer labs and of arcades and things. They come back in my dreams sometimes. And, having that daily structure, having that as part of your daily routine when you're little, even just little small things, I remember how much that meant. And, it's always tough when things change. I would bet. I'm just willing to bet that we think more along these lines than we might realize. This is one of the things that we have in common across the world. Is just this need to have everything be familiar. And when, or things, there's kind of a comfort zone that we have. and we don't want to get too much outside of that comfort zone, or life can be kind of nuts if it is that way. But dealing with things outside of your comfort zone is good for us. It's just we don't want that to happen. Yeah, that's the best way of putting it. But there's so much I could say about this. I mean, everything from... Look, when I was in high school, when I came home, my mom always had... She got these Schwann's chocolate ice cream bars. And I just knew that she always had some on hand. Because, we could always have fruit and whatever else, carrots and vegetables. But, I wanted, chicken and something filling, like ice cream bar. So I always, I had an ice cream, not every day, but I knew my mom had some. But, there's some interesting, tie-ins with, free associations I've always made between things. And I guess, school was just very brutal. It was just not, most people weren't very kind or friendly, and most of the time I was very unsure of so many things. Afraid to be seen as by myself, like a loner, Sure. So, I mean, I wanted to get away from that. I wanted to get away from all that, as soon as I got home. Sorry, just kind of I'm sorry, it's the movie again. I'm just watching this, The thing is, you guys can watch the movie while I'm making my own movie. Pretty sure I'll be okay with no copyright strikes. Who knows? I'm not really watching this. And you can't. Nope. How can YouTube actually? God. Yeah, anyway, I am an innocent man. I'm just gonna say that much. So basically, the thing is, sorry guys. There you go. I think that much. Can you see this? Just you could probably guess what's going on with Short Circuit 2. But yeah, we like structure. We more than structure, more than that, we all want happy, safe, secure lives. I think on some level, especially happy. You can have a routine that's just miserable, but you won't know it's miserable until you have even a better life somehow. But for now, it's working out pretty well. I mean, consider the dirty factory area, of the English Midlands, or like we have these like little kids that are working, making shoes or shining shoes, or working in coal mines or whatever. I mean, just like miserable conditions. Like, imagine what lunch might be for them if they can be able to have decent soup and a bread. They'd just be elated just to eat, and that might be the high point of their day, because they're working all up until they go to bed, and it's the same thing day after day. I mean, like, I wanted to write a book like this, but it seems very Dickens-ish, Charles Dickens-ish idea, but I think it's just one of those things that just won't, I can't, it's in my mind somehow. Somehow it's just stuck in my mind. The idea of the feeling of what so many people go through on a daily basis is most of their life or all of their life, just being very difficult, hard, poor, drudgery type stuff. None of us want a daily life of drudgery. Hopefully there's times when that isn't the case. I mean, some of us, if we have retail work, for instance, working our tails off, our bosses have no concept of how hard we're working. And so they're in no position really to say much of anything about us. They can still have the option to keep us or fire us or whatever, or lay us off, but they just, it's a thankless job. There's so many thankless jobs out there. Janitors and blue-collar work and I don't know, all kinds of stuff. So I mean, like, that's the structure. There's something to, I mean, and work is ennobling, but, guys, when the high point, I'll put it this way, when the high point of your day is what you eat, I think something is wrong with that. I mean, that's when that life is really hard. I mean, So I wouldn't say it's wrong, but it shouldn't. You know, it's when life is hard. If you seriously, if the high point of your day is a meal, it's just something. You know, my life must be not so fun for you. Now, granted, you could seriously have amazing food, and maybe you do. Maybe it is the high point of your life if you really enjoy food that much. I guess I could see that, but there are other things in life that should be more meaningful and bring you even more happiness than food. But sometimes it could be, you know, yes, obvious thing is relationships and romance and that sort of thing. But it could be, you know, what you're studying. It could be what your passions are in an artistic sense or intellectual sense. Exploring things. It could be just, you know, you're out in a different country for the first time. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of things that can bring a lot of enjoyment to someone's life. Just to wrap this up, I guess. How this ties back in with identity. It's kind of like, you know, we see this in other people. We know the habits of people we know well. Especially family members. So you know it can be very disconcerting when somebody has suddenly different habits, different behavioral patterns. All of a sudden, that's usually something you might think it's something, you know, psychological or, you know, someone getting old and whatever. But of course, there's always the demon possession, you know, kinds of things. But you know, there's also, I don't know, like, I would encourage you guys to think about this subject quite a bit because there's, I think, a lot behind this. But this idea of behavioral patterns and habits that we have and what they are, how they change over time and why. You know, I really welcome your guys' feedback on this subject. Because I think that this is a much deeper subject than I might realize, or you guys. This idea of, you know, we like our life kind of the way it is, more or less, or we might not, but we prefer structure, or we are looking for more structure. We're looking for more a sense of home base that has to do with our identity and who we are and being closer to our families, maybe, or finding, you know, romance, through love, whatever it is. You know, this is a big subject, big thing. I'm not doing it justice. I do apologize, but again, I just would encourage you guys to, you know, leave your comments below, and I'll catch you guys later. Thanks. Bye.